John F. Kennedy once said, "Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity." This shows how physical activity is important both in the development of the creative and dynamic mind and in the maintaining of this healthy body. Two things that may not be as easy to do without physical activity. This can be seen in day to day life. Think about a friend you have. Specifically, thinking about a friend who may have benefited from physical activity, whether it would have allowed them to have this more creative mind that might help with their job or just be more enjoyable day to day life. And on the other hand, you can think about the people who have benefited from it. These people who are some of the more creative people and some of the more intellectual people in our society likely benefited from high amounts of physical activity. Now, I will discuss what physical activity is, the benefits of it, and the issues and challenges that arise by a lack of it. Physical activity uses energy to move through muscles. The World Health Organization, or WHO, defines physical activity as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. In layman's terms, this just means any movement that takes up energy. The more common idea of physical activity, however, is any activity which moderately or vastly increases your heart rate, such as walking, running, etc. Now, this does beg the question, how do we differentiate between these different levels of physical activity? I mean, running and walking, lifting weights, and jumping jacks are not the same activity by any means. So, scientists determined that there are three types of physical activity. The three types include light intensity, moderate intensity, and vigorous intensity physical activity. According to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, 1 MET equals the energy or oxygen used while sitting quietly. Physical activity that burns 3 to 5.9 METs is moderately intense, and physical activity that burns anything above 6 METs is of vigorous intensity. Anything below 3 METs, on the other hand, is of light intensity. The CDC also developed a talk test, a test which states that if you can talk but not sing while you are undergoing some type of physical activity, then that physical activity is of moderate intensity. If you can talk and sing while doing a physically active thing, then it is of light intensity. And if you can neither talk nor sing, it is of vigorous intensity. So, now that we've covered the types of physical activity, let's go over the benefits of it. And there are many benefits of physical activity. According to the National Library of Medicine, light intensity physical activity plays a role in improving adult cardiometabolic health and reducing mortality risk. Frequent short bouts of light activity can also help improve glycemic control. And according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, getting at least 150 minutes a week of moderate physical activity can put you at lower risk for cardiovascular diseases. It can also lower the risk for developing some common cancers. And finally, a study conducted by April J. Ho and Cyrus A. Raji, who both have experience in neuroscience, revealed that physical activity resulted in a 2 to 2.5% greater brain tissue increase in those who were physically active. There are many other benefits to physical activity. This just scratches the surface. But this alone, even just scratching the surface, shows how important physical activity is and the many benefits that are associated with it. And finally, this returns us to the original point, the real reasons why children need to be physically active in their day-to-day lives. There are numerous consequences to children not getting enough physical activity. Children who are not physically active, for instance, risk being overweight in the present and future, which will be hard to control later in life if they were not physically active at a young age. This can also result in children being lazy. This causes them to be less physically active in future situations, leading to even more problems. Essentially, lack of physical activity at a young age results in lack of physical activity at an older age. It's tougher to get into physical activity than it is to keep doing physical activity. And finally, physical inactivity directly affects the health of children. It causes them to have increased chances of cardiovascular disease, be more susceptible to respiratory disease, and have an increased chance of mind-altering diseases such as Alzheimer's and dementia, as shown in the study by April J. Ho and Cyrus A. Raji. So, at the end of the day, nobody can force you to make your children physically active. In the same sense, nobody can force you to make your children eat their vegetables, and nobody can force you to make your children drink water. When you view it from this latter perspective, it seems a little less important. A little more important. So, this is not saying that parents need to force their children to be physically active. The child will still live a long life if they are not physically active. However, it is saying that children who are physically active will have benefits over children who are not. And later in life, this will result in fewer problems for the child and will result in the child being able to look at others and see that they are okay while their peers and people surrounding them may not be because of a lack of physical activity. And what parent wouldn't want their child to be okay?